Hey everybody, this is John Hiley with DentTrainer.com. I just wanted to go into a tutorial here on this 2013 Dodge Ram, and we're actually going to be fixing a chrome bumper. So take a look at that. We're going to be going in here and showing you in detail how we're going to be able to remove this dent and all the procedures that are going to go into finalizing this repair. So keep on watching. We're going to go ahead and move right into it. So there is our dent. Right there, kind of roll buckled into the corner of this bumper. Now begin working each and every individual clip up, being very careful not to break the plastic. All right, everybody, so this right here is our setup. Now you're not going to be able to get away with this on every make and model. However, this plastic on this Dodge is pretty darn flexible. And we were able to literally just lay that hammer right up next to it. We're going to go ahead and unbolt this bolt right here, and that's going to go ahead and give us access to the back side of this panel. And we have unbolted that little bolt here, which is going to give us a real nice secure spot to make our pushes. We even have a secondary panel that's connected through the back side, and I've done a few tests through this hole, and it is solid as a rock. So great place compared to some of these other little holes right here, and we can just barely fit a soft tip in there. Something that you guys might notice as well, that we did go ahead and remove the tailgate. It was just kind of getting in our way as far as propping up this plastic piece. And it also gives us a little bit of room to work further into the bedside. So literally when we have the tool in there, the tailgate would have been in the way. So if you don't know how to take one of them off, it's very easy. I'm sure that we have a video in our tutorial section on removal and installation of a tailgate. At this point, we're actually going to go in with a soft tip tool, and we're going to begin making some pushes directly in the center of that dent. Now I have not relieved any crown pressure yet. This type of dent, I just want to get the center of it, just a little bit of tension coming out of the center to help complement our crown work. Essentially, I don't want the whole thing falling in. I want a little bit of pressure in the middle of that dent, holding that dent nice and stable, so when I go lay down the crowns, the dent kind of molds itself out. So we're going to go ahead and make a couple pushes here, and we'll keep on moving along. All right, so now we got the dent, making little strategic pushes just to kind of coast the center of this damage out. Again, have not done any of the crown work yet, but this is just going to give us an idea of how this metal is going to move. It's going to allow me to, again, relieve that pressure from the center of the damage and get it all nice and set to do the crown work. I'd say I'm probably shallowing it up by maybe 10% at this point. All right, after that, now we're going to go ahead and jump in there and start on a little bit of crown work. All right, so I'm going to step in here, and around this outer perimeter of the damage, there's a nice little crown right here, right through here, maybe a little bit of a crown up here through the top. As usual, I'm not going to go in here with a very sharp knockdown at this point. I do want to move a bulk amount of metal around these edge points. So I'm basically using this Dentcraft rubber tip ball that attaches to the end of a traditional knockdown. So let me get to work here. Now what I'm going to do at this point is go in with this sharper tip knockdown and start knocking down the higher peaks on the edge of this crown. Be ready for the knockdown to be totally flattened out as far as the tip goes. So you're definitely going to want to go ahead and resharpen your knockdown after doing this. This is going to be a lot of hard hitting and a lot of hard knockdown work. Again, a lot of hard knockdown work right here along the edges. All right, guys, so here is a shot of this bumper directly after all of that knockdown work. As you can see, there's some nice little lows that still need to be pushed out, but I'm going to go in with a little bit of a different approach. So I'm going to go ahead and move away from the soft tip tool at this point, and I'm going to start using just a little bit of a sharper tip to begin pinpointing some of these little lows right in through there. I'm actually going to go in there at this point with this double bend pick, and it's got kind of just a rounded tip, kind of reminds you about the same size as the orange peel on the manufacturer's finish, but I think this is going to be great to pinpoint some of them spots. Now, if you haven't realized, once you tap all that tension, all that crown work out, and that dent begins to flow, I mean, there's just a little bit of pushing work left to do. That's because the majority of this damage is actually held in by the tension of the crowns around that dent. Now, it's a lot like motorcycle tanks. I actually compare that, this to them quite a bit. We're gonna have to go around and cross-check these from several different angles. So multiple angles of cross-checking, same thing, same protocol. It's just a little bit harder to work with. Anyhow, we'll keep on moving forward in this tutorial.